Welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 138, Intentional Quiet. If you're anything like me, you grew up in a household where there was a lot of noise. And let me tell you, in today's day and world, there is a tremendous amount of noise. Everywhere I go, I'm in shock. The music is blaring at Walmart. It's even going at the doctor's office. There are video screens with music videos and informational videos about their health systems. And certainly in elevators in buildings, there is music. In the mall, it's ridiculous. Every place at the mall has music. And then you go into stores and they have music. I mean, it's insane. It's very difficult to find quiet. When I go into most people's homes, often the television set is on. Someone has a tablet of some kind, and not always do they have headphones in. Not always do they have it muted. The kid has this going, the TV's going, the radio's going. Oh, I mean, it's very disconcerting to me now because I don't have a television set. I don't listen to the radio, even in my car. Most of my life is nonstop quiet. I like it. If you listened to my Saturday session about my life and about my brain damage, I really learned to love quiet. When I was younger, my brain was going nonstop, and so the interference of other sounds could bother my thought processes, and it still actually can, but now I have such a significant level of inner quiet that sometimes outer things don't bother me if I'm really focused and really concentrating on a task. Other people can walk in and ask me things or turn on a radio or a TV by me, and I can still keep on working because I have the quiet of my own mind and my own spirit. My challenge question for you is, do you have any place in the world where you can be quiet? Some people can't handle quiet because when they're quiet, they think and they feel. That's why they don't like it. Is exactly why I do. For a child to be creative, for them to use their imagination, for them to process things that are going on with them, they need quiet. They need time to think. They need time to feel. You need to provide that for them. If you are going 26 hours a day, and I know some of you understand what I mean, some of you dads or some of you moms with a really high-powered, high-pressure job, you understand there are not enough hours in the day, and every second of every one of them, you're running. You do not take time to be quiet. You do not take time to think and meditate and just to feel and allow your creativity and all those things that go on in you when you are quiet to happen. You say you don't have time. I want to assure you, it is a matter of commitment to doing it. And it is certainly a commitment, which is why it's today, on a day of intentionally planning to do this, that you give your child some downtime, some quiet time. That means every Saturday, instead of letting them sit in front of the TV watching cartoons 5 or 6 hours a day, you give them a couple hours where they are quiet. The television set may not be on. The radio may not be on. You may not have your tablet. You may not have any kind of electronics.
Mom, what am I supposed to do?
Well, we're going to sit down quietly. If necessary, get yourself a hammock, hang it out in the backyard, and you and your child lay in the hammock for 15 or 20 minutes. You can listen to the birds sing. You can watch the bees buzz around the yard. You can look at flowers or grasses. You can take a walk in the woods. You can go to a nature center near your house and walk around where there's not all this noise going on. You can go to a bird refuge center. You can go fishing. There's a lot of quiet when you go fishing, which is part of why I love to go with my dad when I was a girl. There are plenty of places in the world to find some quiet. And so you teach your child the value of quiet. You foster an appreciation for quiet. And you even spend time with your child in that place of quietude. There's an amazing thing that goes on in a home. When the mom is really agitated, pretty much everybody is. If the mom can keep her cool demeanor and stay kind of calm, pretty much everybody can. Now, I've seen situations where the mom is a really, really pretty cool person and the dad brings a whole bunch of chaos in the door with him. And I acknowledge that to you. There are times when that definitely happens. And there are some moms who are pretty riled up, and the dad can bring a calmer atmosphere to the home, especially when he says, honey, it's okay. And he sits her down for a few minutes and he listens to how her day was and he rubs her feet or he holds her hand or he rubs her shoulders a second and she can get calmed down and he brings calm into the house with him. We definitely are interactional human beings, which is why you learning something about the value of a quiet heart and a quiet mind is a big deal for you as a parent. So, as a dad, if you can find some quiet, even if that is going fishing, and you take your kids fishing with you and they can learn to appreciate those few minutes of quiet. Or as a mom, you love to bicycle, so you get all the kids a bike and you go riding and they can appreciate the quietude of that process of going. And I always love biking because I like that little whir of hearing the chain and the pedals. There are lots of places in the world to find some quiet, but you have to do it. I will tell you that sometimes with my sons, we would just light candles in the living room. This is probably when they were like 8 to 12, preteen years. We would light candles in the living room, turn off all the lights so it was pretty dark, uh, eat popcorn, and just enjoy each other's presence. It isn't that we did not talk, because we did, but we would talk in a quieter tone, and we would just enjoy a much quieter evening together. We weren't playing video games. We weren't watching a movie. We were just quiet together. It was awesome. You can definitely foster that kind of quietude in your children and help them to appreciate. You can teach them how to read and encourage them to spend 15 to 30 minutes a day reading quietly somewhere. They can have a favorite chair in their room. You might have a little book nook in your house in the corner of the living room, or somewhere in, maybe even in mom or dad's office, where they don't talk but they're together and they can read in a special chair. I used to love to climb a tree because my family was noisy, and when I was way up there in a tree, I could read quietly. Nobody interrupted me. I didn't hear all this stuff around me. I loved it. Teach your kids to read and the beauty of quietude of their own mind and going another place, just within the pages of a book. Teach your children the value of quietude. Again, I'm going to talk to you as a nurse just for a minute. It calms down your blood pressure. It slows down your heart rate and your respiratory rate. It gets rid of a lot of all of those negative chemicals in your body. It brings serotonin and endorphins to you. It just is so good for your health to find that quiet place for a little while. If you are not a person with much quietude, if you've really not experienced it much or you haven't developed this part of your life, I want to encourage you to intentionally find quiet. I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day. So that might mean that you get up 15 minutes earlier, you take a cup of coffee, you sit out on the back porch, and you just sit there for 5 minutes and enjoy the quiet. Do your best to even quiet your mind. Don't worry about all the stuff you got to do because you're not doing it now. Right now, be where you are now in this very moment and space and learn. And it does take time, but learn to be quiet. Learn to enjoy the beauty of quiet and the benefits of quiet. And then teach your children, intentionally help them understand the beauty and the value of quiet. It really is an amazing thing. For someone who had such a chaotic, frenetic, wild mind when I was younger, those moments of quiet, they were some of the most treasured moments I ever found. Now that I'm older, I'm very committed to those moments of quiet in my life, and I really understand the value of them. So I invite you to learn some quietude and teach your child the great value of quiet time. It's really very awesome, believe me. Thank you so much for being with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. I invite your suggestions, your comments, your questions. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with someone And I will look forward to seeing you very soon on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.